Good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today we're in the MiG-21 BIS, Lazur-M. It's a pretty generic MiG-21 BIS. You get the 6 R60s or 4 R60s and 2 R13s, which is what I elect to run. You get the GSH-23, low velocity gun, low ammo. Used to do a lot of damage, now it sort of does whatever it wants to. It kind of depends on how it's feeling on the day. You get flares and chaff. Nothing really to write home about. It's a MiG-21, it's a MiG-21 BIS. There's a lot of them in the game. MiG-21 Lazur-M is not unique. It does not have the flare pod at the bottom, which gives it a slightly unique flare dropping pattern, I guess, but the flare pod doesn't really add any extra weight, so it's technically like a very minor downgrade, but it doesn't really matter. It's just a lot of pedantics. Either way, yeah, it's a pretty generic aircraft, but it's an okay premium and it's an okay grinder if you know what to do with it. The last time I played the MiG-21 BIS, it was when it was 11.0 and the highest BR was 12.0. And it got completely steamrolled every single game, so I mean, it's much better than that now. Don't mind the waifus as well. Some things you do want to be careful about in this BR. I do like to play it a little bit higher up earlier in the game, because it allows you to get some free missiles dropping down onto people who aren't really expecting it. Be careful of things with radar missiles, your F-40s, your F-80s, the Mirages with the Falcons. Those sorts of things you do want to be very careful of. You have chaff, and you can basically one-chaff any radar at the BR. The F-4E's missiles, if they get one off on you, you will need to notch them if you chaff them first. This guy is somewhat paying attention. GSH-25s are pretty hot, so I might be able to sneak a missile through if I'm lucky. It's a BM, never mind. I'm just going to leave there. We did try and drop the missile down on him, but he was paying attention, so it's not really worth trying to stick the fight. F-4EJ is going to be going in. I'm going to pre-flare because he does have R-73s, which are a little bit scary, but we can just pre-flare, and he shouldn't be able to get one through the pre-flares to actually get it off. You see what I mean about the flares? They are a slightly worse pattern than the other MiG-21 BISs. There we go. We did pre-flare that. My heart actually sank there for a second. I thought we didn't, but no, we're good. He's pulling away, so I'm going to pull back in now. He is distracted by the other MiG-21. We do have an F5 as well to keep in mind. I'm going to fire that. He might not be paying attention. He might be trying to get a shot on the MiG-21, which it looks like he is. We're going to drop another one for the F5, but he sees his teammate go down and starts flaring. That's fine. We're going to go in for a gunshot here. As you can see, GSH-23 is very low velocity. It's a little bit difficult to aim, especially if you're not used to it. I haven't played a plane with it in a hot minute now. I'm going to pull up for this F5E because he is super distracted on the teammate, and I miss all my shots because professional player. I'm just going to stick very close to him here. The rudder does unfortunately fuck up that last turn, but he is a bit brain dead and flies like right into our gun. If I can hit a singular shot, there we go. Almost whiffed all of them there, but we did manage to get one off. There is a J7 down here. I'm going to see if I can get a missile off. Probably better an R60. He's damaged. Going to take the shot. We miss. Probably zoom in when I'm aiming. He's a bit damaged, so we should be able to just straight push up on him. Okay, he gets obliterated by someone else. They probably got severe. I'm just going to try and yoink the assist credit, because free RP. There we go. Alright. Yeah, there's a couple kills. Their team has majorly gone down, it looks like, so we do get a pretty easy win here. F-111 getting chased around in orbit, and Vegan trying to fight for his life when his team's gone. That checks out. One of them's still somewhere else. I'm not really sure where. Yeah, this plane does feel very generic. If you get an up tier, you're not amazing fighting a lot of the stuff at your BR, and you do need to kind of play off of your teammates. If you get a down tier, you can slap most things in a dogfight as long as it doesn't go sustained, basically. You pull a lot of AoA. Are you going to try and... one thing you can do... He's not even looking, probably. Okay. God's brightest tornado player. One thing you can do is head on with the R60 MKs, because they don't have a proxy fuse delay, or a very small proxy fuse delay, unlike a lot of the other missiles. You can just get very close to the head-on and ram your missile right at them, essentially, and they won't be able to flare in time, and if they do flare in time, the missile will track their flares, but go through them and proxy fuse onto them anyways, which a lot of other missiles can't actually do around these BRs. It is a pretty useful trick, especially if you're not really consistent with getting kills yet. It can be a bit of a crutch. Just make sure you don't get gun killed, and make sure you pre-flare before you go into the head-on, so their missiles don't do the same thing to you, basically. But once you learn how to play this plane, it is a pretty reliable grinder. As you can see, I've got 4 kills without too much effort. I did throw a lot of shots against an F5, which a lot of you probably will as well. The gun is not the easiest to use. I don't know what else to do this game. There's a Vegan running away. I can go kill some ground targets. Look at that. Game 2. This Mirage might be flareless. No, he's not flareless. There is one Mirage which is flareless, which this thing technically can see in a full down tier. I was going to see if I could hit on R60M, but unfortunately it's not that variant. Yeah, it's the MiG-23, of course it isn't. Our team is sort of doing their thing. They're moving into battle. A lot of their team decided to just straight headbutt ours and fly straight towards the bases, which is surely an amazing idea and will never go wrong. I don't know if this guy sees me or not. I'm going to drop an R60 MK. He might not. He doesn't. He eats shit. Tornado in front of us does know we're here, unfortunately. I'm going to try and drop an R13 anyways. That almost tracked through his flares. I tracked through a handful of them, but not the rest of them. He has bled a lot of speed, though, so we might be able to catch him here. He does have bombs, too, so he is going to be quite a hefty boy. That Mirage is not shooting at us. I'm going to spray here a little bit. Almost hits him. He does dive out the way, unfortunately. He's going to try and pull out the way. I'm going to try and hit a GSH shot, which might be a bit difficult considering I am kind of rusty with this gun. No, we do manage to clip on. I'm going to get out the way of his bombs before he kills me like that. 2 pretty free kills to start the game with. That's always quite nice. SU-22 over here fires an R60 MK from a mile away. Not really sure what his game plan there was, but that's fine. He tries to drop another one. We just pre-flare it because, you know, R60 MKs are very flare hungry. You can just drop one flare. They will go bye-bye. He's gone for a base. I'm not going to bother him. Looks like my team has crumbled pretty quick. They kind of will do that. The premium teams around these BRs are not the best, so you can't fully rely on them. You do have to sort of play for yourself. Fortunately, your plane does have a pretty good flight model and can sort of hold its own towards the end of the game as long as there's nothing, like, super scary remaining. I'm going to get an R60 MK off on this MiG-21. Looks like he is quite distracted. He might not see that, which he doesn't. One thing to note, don't hold full burn the entire time in this plane. You will just rip your wings. I almost forgot about that. I'm going to fire that at the F4E. He might not see that again. Another MiG-21 here. Also might be distracted. We're going to fire that towards him. He is not, unfortunately. He does see it in flare. Mirage tries to head on Magic us, but it doesn't quite. I think that was a head on Magic. I don't know. We got something shot at us on the head on. Didn't really work out super well. One of his rounds desync clipped us, which didn't actually do any damage, which is good. We've got 4 kills, but our team has done nothing and have all died. So, you know, that will just sort of happen. There's not much you can do about it, unfortunately. I might see if I can play around this F-104 for a bit of help here, because we do have a couple enemies trying to chase us down. Actually, the Mirage is leaving, so we might just be able to 1v1 this MiG-21 over here. Yeah, looks like we should be fine to do that. I'm gonna try it. Why not? Might as well get a bit of action going while the Mirage is flying away. I'm going to try and hold a little bit of C. We're going to dive under his GSH, and then we're going to go up around the other side of him. He's falling into the scissors. We have lost control because our crew is terrible. I'm actually just going to leave. That fight went horribly at the start of that for us because we overG'd. I can just sort of dip out. I can one flare over all of his missiles without too much worry, and we have a lot more speed and energy than him now, so we can reset the fight without too much of a concern here. There is another MiG-21 on its way, though, which is a bit more of a concern. I do want to keep pre-flaring for this other MiG-21. I'm going to try the R60M head-on trick. I'm going to fire that. Doesn't quite get close enough. I didn't want to risk it anymore there because he could have fired one of his own or he could have gun killed us, which would have been quite bad. I'm going to try and go for the reversal. Why not? I'm going to drop air brake. I'm going to pull down a lot. He does hit the shot, unfortunately. Unfortunately for him, I don't know what happened there. I'm not going to lie. That was insanely lucky on our end. Somehow neither of us actually died. Peak gun damage. He took off our wingtip. I think I crippled his engine with a fuel fire or something. Both of us lived to tell the tale somehow. I'm going to try and limp back to base here. I think he's probably going to do the same thing. I'm in kind of disbelief. I'm in shock from what just happened there. He did manage to barely clip our wingtip with the GSH, which is a bit surprising considering the gun is quite hard to use, as I said earlier. He's... I think he's just as surprised as I am. I'm not going to lie. That was something else, man. Okay. There is an F4 trying to creep up on us from behind, and we can't fight him in this state, so I'm just going to have to run and hope they're slower, which they might be. They might not be also. What's your speed? I think you overspeed at 1360 on the deck, from what I remember. Around there, so I'm not going to get up there, but I'm going to keep it close, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to outrun these two monkeys behind us. We have low fuel, we have a damaged wing, we have limited ammo and no missiles, so I'm not going to try and fight here. I just have to try and get back to base. It is a bit of a scummy move, but I don't have much else, really. Yeah, there we go. He does actually go down. We do get the ace there. There are a lot of enemies left, but it looks like a lot of them are just bombing, so we might be able to clutch this. It's going to be quite a hard fight, though, so we're going to have to do our best, really. I got to land this thing first as well. Landing with a damaged wingtip's always a little sketchy. I came in from the wrong angle too, which is quite bad. You want to come in from the opposite angle to the wing which you have damaged, because it's going to try and, like, lean down like this. I got to bleed a bit of speed without, like, killing myself. I'm just going to go for it. If I explode, I explode here. I think we should be barely slow enough. Yeah. Fortunately, we do have 2 other competent players on our team, both of which are MiG-23 MLs, and it looks like they're going to try and help us out in this last little battle here. Our radar is pinging quite a bit from the front here. I've literally just taken off. Yeah, there is someone to our right. I had a feeling. Okay. I'm going to keep full burning here. I need to get my speed as quickly as I physically can. I just sort of... How do I... There we go. It was picking him up in that direction there. Yeah, okay, he's head on now. He saw us with his radar, I'm assuming, because we did get pinged by it. Our teammate's blind hunted right now. It's actually turned into a 3v3, so I want to try and not throw the end game of this. Alright, there they are. They've just appeared now. So we have a Mirage F1C, which is quite scary. He does have magics. I'm not sure if he has any left. I'm hoping he doesn't. And then there's another Mirage. I'm not sure what Mirage that is. MiG-23 is going to try and run for us here. I'm going to try and bail him out here. I'm going to fire that very close range at him. He sees it and flares in time. Our MiG-23 teammate is still running. I want to try and... Nah, I can't even. I'm not going to get an opportunity to help him out there because he's just going to keep running towards the airfield, and both of them outrun me, I'm pretty sure, so it's going to be kind of fruitless to try and push in for that. I want to see if I can get these Mirages to burn their magics in the head-on, because otherwise I might actually be a little bit sketched out here. We are going to fire that very close range. He doesn't flare. That's the R60 trick that they don't really expect. It did slam him, proxy fuse him. He's dead. F104 and MiG-23 are now trying to play with each other, and that I might go play with them. It's probably going to be the best bet to win the game. But I also do kind of want to drop 7k here would be nice. Okay, they go down. Cool. F104, TAF does clear them out. I'm going to start heading towards their airfield now, because I'm assuming that's going to be the direction that the last one is in. But yeah, I did make a handful of mistakes this game. The head-on with the MiG-21 was really bad. I don't really know how either of us survived that, but because of we get a pretty high-kill game here. No, somewhat high-kill game. I mean, it's like an average game, it's fine. The MiG-21 BIS isn't, like, stupidly overpowered, and it is a full-up tier, so it is kind of nice to see. But if you can play very well with it, the plane will heavily reward you. It's just... You need a lot of situational awareness, and you need to essentially find the people who aren't paying attention to you, which just sort of comes with, like, experience and playtime. So try not to get too disheartened if you are struggling with it a little bit. We do get a radar ping from back left. I think it's probably just, like, an AI or something. I don't really know. There's a blind hunt's already been activated. He's bombing AI. Hold on. No, he might actually be in this area. I might follow the pings, because I have a feeling that is his radar, and he doesn't know how to turn it off properly. I could pop an order here. Nope, don't need to. There he is. Okay. We found him. Cool. I am going to pull down a little bit here so he misses the Vulcan shot. He doesn't have any head-on missiles that can scare us, really. We're going to try and force an overshoot here. I'm going to negative G to try and prevent overGing. He does slide out right in front of us. He does flare. He is going to try and pull a fight sustain, which is quite bad for us. I want to see if I can get a missile shot up here. Because if he doesn't drop burner and we get one out from behind, it can do a pretty significant amount of damage to him. I'm also going to see if I can get a GSH shot if I am a little bit lucky. He is very slow as well. It looks like he's carrying something or is a lot heavier than us. We can just get a GSH shot here. I just need to hit it. Just like that. There we go. 7k. Pretty easy game. Lazur-M is a very competent plane if you know how to handle it. I feel like I've proved that by now. Yeah, it's just going to be getting used to the GSH-23 and sort of knowing when people are looking at you and not. But yeah, it's a very potent plane, very good grinder. Would recommend for the Geometry. As you can see, this is without any boosters because the game was a very long one. RP is time-based, so the more time you spend in-game, the more of it you get. And because of that, we did get quite a lot of it as well. We just did a lot, so we get a lot of SL2. It's always a nice little reward for playing well. But yeah, either way, hope you enjoyed. Another video tomorrow, as always. Hope you have a great day. If you don't mind liking and subscribing, I never usually say it, but like, it does help the channel out. I would appreciate it. Either way, have a great day. See you then, and bye-bye.